adventurer, but really he's just an all-round crazy person. So please give him a few moments of your time and you will be entertained.
All right, anybody recognize those people? Yeah, go on, tell me who they are. They're the Maasai, actually. So that's where I was a few weeks ago. And what I want to do is share a little bit about what we were there for very quickly. I'm literally going to take 2 or 3 minutes. And then to prove how mad I am, we're going to set a new world record tonight. We're actually going to drink the world's dirtiest water. So I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience to actually mix all the dirt that I gathered from outside in the garden. And I went to the kitchen and I got some grubby stuff from the bins in the kitchen, and it's all in there, and we're going to show you what African people have to drink. So who's going to help me do that in a couple of minutes? Not drink it, just mix it. Thank you. That'd be great. Let's give that a go. Let me just quickly tell you a couple of things. I want to tell you about a strange journey that I've been on for the last 10 years probably. And it more than likely started with this book. I don't know who's read this book, but General Romeo Dallaire, Shaking Hands with the Devil. And when I read this book, there was a statement in here that absolutely rocked my world. And it was from some bureaucrats that went to visit Rwanda. And they went away and they wrote back to Romeo Dallaire, the general, and they said, our country is not going to get involved because there's no important assets there. There's only people. And that shocked me completely. It made me realize that I needed to do something in this world to help protect people because other people weren't doing that. When you hear that sound of those Maasai women singing, if you ask an African person, what is that sound? And that's a very common thing for a Caucasian person to ask. They'll go to Africa and you see all this singing and this celebration, and you'll say, what is that? What are they doing? And the answer from any person in Africa is going to be, that's joy. That's their representation of joy. It's tangible, you can touch it and feel it. And it made me think, and the one message that I want to leave with you tonight is that we spend so much money trying to create happiness in our lives, trying to buy happiness, and yet for very small amounts of money you can create joy in the lives of an African person or a Latin American person or a Himalayan person, whatever it may be. It takes so little.
You have the most ridiculous amount of faith like you wouldn't believe. You just drove into oncoming traffic with a 200-kilometer collision with a white line separating you from that collision. And people tell me, well, I don't understand faith. That's faith. You're driving your car at 100 kilometers an hour, the other one's coming towards you, and there's a white line that separates you. That's a huge amount of faith every day. You'll walk to a bus stop believing that the bus is actually going to show up and take you to where you want to go. That's faith. Yet we talk about setting goals in real estate and people go, oh, I just don't know how I'm going to do it. Well, the people who visualize the success themselves got it done. You can talk to any number of extreme athletes, high-performing athletes, and they'll tell you before they start the race, they already know what they're going to do. You'll see them closing their eyes and visualizing every corner, every turn. If we're in a race car, that's the first thing we do is try and settle down and think about, okay, what's the first several corners that I'm going to go through here, and try and set up that race very smoothly. Right? If we're launching a hang glider off a mountain, we don't just kind of put the hang glider up in the air and run. We think about, well, wait a minute, what do I want to have happen here? How do I want to get off this mountain safely? Right?
I thought the storytelling was huge because it helps people relate. And I could sense that you care about our success and not just about teaching. And I think that's the difference. I said to myself, gee whiz, I'm going to come back to another one of these, simply because I felt the value there.
The presenters presented the information in such a way that you could absolutely relate to it. Even myself, there was a bit of storytelling and a bit of humor in there, and it wasn't just drone through the books. It inspired you. It really had some magic to it.
It's nice to have a refreshing presentation and get us back on track, show us what we need to be doing, and help us be more successful in our business. The presentation was great, and I've taken some very valuable points with me.